Something that I realized recently is that whenever I walk into the gym, or whenever certain people walk into a room, somehow you could actually see or even feel, without even trying, a lot of people will actually just gravitate towards me without me even moving a muscle.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it, SpongeBob.
So while noticing this a few days ago, I tried to think to myself, what have I done? Or what am I doing, whether subconsciously or unconsciously, or what some of these other people do, that attracts people like a magnet in certain situations?
I got the Kavorka chair.
The Kavorka, what is that?
The lure of the animal.
Especially because, as you'll hear me say at the end of the video, even if you are the most unbelievable person, you're not for everyone and you shouldn't try to be. But in today's video, I'm going to be diving into some of these qualities of an attractive or a magnetic person, and this doesn't just apply to partners or relationships, it could apply to people, it could apply to strangers, it could apply to friends, and also attracting partners as well. So without further ado, let's dive deeper now. Let's make you attractive.
Give me a...
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Jared and James channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys didn't know, it must mean that you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts on this video. Follow me on every platform, and if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to check out my book, Fight Through It by Jared Weiss. All links purchased are on my website, which is jaredryanweiss.com. That's JAREDRYANWEISS.com. Buy the book, support me, and the support, as always, is very much appreciated. So as you guys already know by now, in today's video I'm going to be talking about the qualities that make you a more attractive person who people could just gravitate towards without you even trying to move a muscle. So first off, the first quality I want to get into is making people feel like they matter. If when other people are around you and you're on your phone, you're distracted, your head is off in space, off somewhere else, or on the other hand, if you're gossiping about someone else.
I think somebody nominated her as a joke or something. I mean, nobody votes for her. She's gonna have a total meltdown.
Or if you're always complaining, why would that person want to come back to you, and why would anyone want to be surrounded by you? On the flip side though, when you compliment someone, I mean, you're willing to have this quality where, when that person's speaking to you, you can actually make them feel like they're the only person who matters in that moment. Who doesn't want to experience that, and who wouldn't want to be surrounded by that?
Yeah, I want to touch him.
And going along these same lines, another very powerful quality when it comes to being an attractive person who people want to be around is to be a good listener. Which sounds so simple, but like these days, it's actually in short supply.
Men of Farquaad stature are in short supply?
It's so rare more now than ever, so honestly the standard isn't even that high, and if you can even just listen to someone for 2 minutes at a time, you're gonna be the cat's meow. But if you could give people your undivided attention, you're able to respond with good questions that shows that you're actually paying attention, this will make the other person feel like they're heard,
I hear you loud and clear,
and what they're saying actually matters to you. And if you're the one who's doing the talking, this also does not mean using a good listener or taking advantage of their kindness and of their kind listening skills. I've unfortunately experienced this many times as a people pleaser myself, where people will take advantage of my time and my kindness by complaining about their problems without actually offering any listening ear to what I have to say, or without even ever asking how I'm doing, because they know that I'm too nice to stop them. And this is probably something that I need to work on, is being able to say no to someone, or being able to not be so willing and giving up so much of my time to everyone. But having said that, I do think that because people know how good of a listener I am, it makes them want to talk to me more. But on the flip side, using people is very unattractive.
That's not gonna be good for anybody.
So if I'm being a good listener, I'm also probably gonna avoid people or not want to talk to people who I know are gonna bore me, who I know are gonna use up all my time, who aren't gonna be respectful over my time, and who are gonna be doing more complaining rather than uplifting. The next super important quality of an attractive person is be someone who asks good questions. I've actually noticed that me being a podcaster has helped me so much with my everyday conversational skills as well. And this goes for talking to girls, it goes for talking to friends, it goes for talking to complete strangers. Being able to ask really stimulating questions that gets the person thinking not only shows that you're attentive, but it also shows that you're really comprehending what the person is saying. So I'm not saying to always be thinking of questions while the other person is talking to you, because then of course it makes it hard to pay attention, and sometimes as a podcaster I actually do have to do this to make sure there aren't too many lulls in the conversation.
But she kind of
Finished your thought.
But if you can think of questions that are respectful, and you can feel the other person out on this, try to see how personal the other person wants to get, or if they're not comfortable with certain topics, be respectful, and if you can then ask them about what they're interested in. Or something else that I find very valuable is actually being well versed in a variety of different topics, or even just familiarizing yourself with a lot of different topics. And one way to get better at this is to be willing to speak to a lot of different types of people.
Everyone will be a lot friendlier. Hello, Sam. How you doing, Joe?
Check out different types of content on social media. Listen to a variety of different podcasts. This is going to allow you to be more interesting, and it's going to help you to engage in more powerful, stimulating conversations. Next up is to care about your appearance. And I'm not saying that we should ever be judging a book by its cover, because I've had so many experiences in my own life, and I've met plenty of people who I don't think I'd have anything in common with, but by me actually still being willing to speak to this person, I actually end up finding that we have way more in common than we initially realized. But having said this, there's a reason why our minds go to judgment. It's an internal safety mechanism to make sure like the other person isn't a danger to us.
This is disgust. She basically keeps Riley from being poisoned, physically and socially.
And also what someone's wearing or how they're dressed can actually tell us a lot about them. Think about what your image is telling the world. Is it saying I didn't care enough to look nice today? I didn't care enough to make myself well groomed, so I won't care about you either? Or is it of someone who shows like that at the very least you give a freak enough to show up, put in some effort, and look nice for the other person, or for the world in general? Now also keep in mind, this has to be individualized to how each of us wants to look, as well as the image that each of us is trying to project onto the world.
What the hell is this? Don't tell me. Velvet?
For me, for instance, I love wearing shirts with motivational sayings on them, as you guys know by now, or also some shirts that may make you think a bit to yourself, or also, of course, shirts that sometimes show off the muscles, show off the gun show, if you know what I mean. I'm not someone who really likes to look too formal if I don't have to. I prefer to wear very athletic clothes. Now, of course, for someone else, looking very formal may actually be their top priority. And you may actually want to look like a business person who wears suits and ties. Or if you're a girl, it may make more sense for you to wear nice dresses or nice skirts or nice blouses. I also love wearing hats and headbands, as you may know by now, and the reason for this is because wearing these actually makes me feel more confident in myself. When I was growing up, I used to think like wearing these things was a sign of being a cool person.
Such a cool guy.
So by wearing these, I think that like this is a sign of confidence in showing myself that I can pull these things off. And I'm also someone who tries my best to look youthful, well groomed, and once again, like I put effort and like I care about my appearance. Or maybe you're someone who likes the whole punk rock look. Whatever it may be, just understand that the way you look and the way you dress does in fact say something about you and can make you a more or less attractive person to the tribe of people who you're hoping to or not hoping to attract once again. And lastly, the final quality of an attractive person that people gravitate towards that I want to address in this video is being kind, unassuming, and very approachable. This can mean smiling often. This can mean coming across as someone who's not snobby, or arrogant, or even cocky. There's a huge difference between being confident versus being cocky, and I actually think this is the same difference between being approachable and like someone who people would love to talk to versus not. Don't talk over people or interrupt others often, or act super obnoxious, and as if like you're above everyone else and you're better than everyone else.
I'm better than you.
Show that you care about others. I think that like back when I was working at the day camp I used to work at, one of the big reasons why all the campers used to love me and love talking to me, and why they found it so easy to come up to me to talk about any issues they were having or any of their problems, is because they found me so approachable because I was able to get down to their level. I put myself in their shoes. I listened to all them. I made them feel like each of them mattered. I always did my best to put out the best, kindest vibes out there, as I'm always trying to do. I was often smiling, just as I do now, and I did my best to make each and every one of them feel special. And a funny story on this topic that I want to add to this video, and add to this conversation, is that last summer I was actually sitting outside by the pool at my gym, and this adorable little girl walks by everyone else. I'm just sitting outside in one of the lounge chairs. She walks by everyone else, but like she comes up to me and she says to me, "Can you help me find my best friend's bracelet?" So what was it about me that made her feel so comfortable in coming up to me and approaching me and asking me to help her out? I think it all had to do with the vibes I was giving off. She could sense that these vibes were extremely friendly.
You're a good person.
I saw a post the other day that said how when kids feel comfortable around you, this is a sign that you're living at a very high vibration, especially because kids are basically only going off of instincts versus really having to think about it. So if a kid feels very comfortable around you, that must mean that like that kid's instincts and that kid's body and intuition are telling them that you're a safe person and that you're putting out really good, friendly vibes. And the same goes for anyone who's very tapped into their intuition. If people feel comfortable around you, and if people feel comfortable sharing things to you and having deep, meaningful conversations around you, this must mean that you're doing a really good job at living at your highest vibration and being someone who's approachable, kind, friendly, and who's willing to be of service to humanity and of service to God. Now, one final closing point that I want to make in this video is that unfortunately, not everyone can appreciate a good person, and you're not meant for everyone.
How could anyone not like you?
I know, it seems impossible.
You can be following all the advice like I gave in this video, you can be doing all the right things, and doing things that I found that people like about me, and why I believe they find me to be such a magnetic person, but some people just don't know a good thing when they see it. And once again, this goes for partners, it goes for teammates, it goes for coworkers, it goes for strangers, friends, etc, etc. You are not for everyone, and that should not be your ultimate goal. But if you do make people feel like they're important, if you do make them feel like they matter, if you listen attentively, take some pride in your appearance, and make an effort to be kind, unassuming, and approachable, in the right rooms and in the right situations, you will find like you don't even have to try to meet and interact with people. They're gonna come to you. And some of these really cool people are just gonna gravitate and move in your direction without you even having to lift a finger. And it's like for me, even when I was in high school and like I thought I was doing all these things right, because I still believe I was, but yet in many situations I still often felt excluded and would rather be by myself, to be honest. But then when I was at camp, or once again when I'm at the gym these days, or even in certain classrooms at that time, and in certain teams, certain people would just come my way without me having to try or without me having to move a muscle, and like it was a really cool thing to see. But still, another reminder, still be discerning when it comes to who you let into your life, who you let into your surroundings, and who you invite into your inner circle.
I actually only have 3 friends. I really can't handle anymore.
Because even if you are someone who creates an environment that's inviting for everyone, and if you are someone who everyone wants to be around, which is a great thing, this doesn't mean that you have to let them in either. Still be very careful when it comes to where you're giving your energy and how many people you're actually giving that energy to. But continue putting out that good vibe, do all the things that make you a more attractive person, and eventually you're going to attract the right, most amazing people as a result. And these people are going to want to be around you, and you're going to want to be around them too. Anyways guys, let me know your thoughts on this video. If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys learned something, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure to buy my book, Fight Through It. I will catch you guys next time. Stay positive, stay hustling, stay grinding, stay magnetic. Show other people that they matter to you. Listen, I love you guys. Catch you guys next time. Peace.